Let's talk about how to get out of a relationship with a narcissist and do so safely. Now, I felt like making this video because I thought it was a really important subject because originally when I was learning about my relationship and the situation that I was in, first of all, I was confused whether or not I was in that situation, especially having dated a covert narcissist and the situations that go along with dealing with that, and how the symptoms can seem to be hidden until you learn more about the checklists and that all the tools and tactics that get used, and the more that you learn about it, the clearer it came for me. And I realized that for me, exiting that relationship was probably a bit easier and more safe for me as a man, because I can defend myself pretty well and more easily than generally a woman can. And so if you're a man that's maybe dealing with a difficult woman, or if you are a woman that's dealing with a difficult man, I think this video is important and could really help you out and how to exit a relationship and do so safely. And the reason I bring up safety is because, I'm not necessarily even talking about physical safety. There's also emotional and mental safety. And one of the things that is common with narcissists when you're dealing with them is triangulation as one of the tactics that is used in the devaluation stage. If you want to learn more about the different tactics that narcissists use to try to manipulate you, check out my video on the 32 tactics that I made so that you can learn all about them. Now, with that being said, triangulation is something that is probably going to be used in these situations. You have to be prepared for triangulation to come even after your relationship has ended. And if you have children with your narcissist, or if you're in a situation where you're even, you're married to one and you find yourself in that spot, I do think it's important for you to recognize that there might be more triangulation attempts to come. So with that being said, let's move into this video, and let's start off with, we're going to talk about the two different aspects of this. First of all, we're going to talk about what to do before you leave the relationship, and second of all, what you're going to do after you've left the relationship. That way we can get the first things first. So first of all, before you leave, I guess really the most important part of everything, and I would say the biggest foundation to making all of this work for you so that you can live your happiest life once you've left this relationship, is going to actually be taking some time for yourself. And take some time for yourself away from your narcissist, away from that situation, so that you can reflect upon yourself and truly think about what it's going to mean for you to leave this relationship, and to do so while keeping your self-esteem and your health intact. The reason this is important is because you have developed over time connections and bonds, and your psychology has been affected and altered, and your brain has created these connections with this person. And it is important to recognize that if you are not fully 100% dedicated to this decision, then you may be, shooting yourself in the foot, you could say. Because if you try to leave and then you're not firm on the decision and you come back, you're just going to get yourself trapped again into that same relationship, and you're going to continue the cycle of the love bombing, devaluation, and discard stages, which is only going to affect your happiness in the long run. So before you leave, you need to take some time to really think to yourself whether or not you're going to fully commit to that leaving process and fully get out of there for your own sake. Now, with that being said, let's move on to the next most important thing before you leave. The thing that you want to do is you want to start building a safety net around you. It's really important to build a safety net around you because it is going to make the process so much easier. I'm talking about building a safety net socially, because if you have been dealing with a narcissist that has triangulated you and pushed you away from people that you love and people that you care about, you may feel like you're alone. And the truth is that you're not. In fact, there's a lot of people in this community that we're building that are here to help you as well. So it's really important that you build a little safety net for yourself socially as well as financially, especially if you've been married to your narcissist. Then it's really important to have a financial safety net for you, and you need to go about building these things in ways that You can do so for yourself. You know, if you need to slide under the radar of your narcissist, well, you prepare your exit, because sometimes maybe it just doesn't make sense to really just leave right out of the blue. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there's a marriage involved and you're going to be in a much more difficult situation where you're going to have extended periods of communication, which is what we want to avoid. So this is why you should set your own goal to be independent of this relationship that you've been in, and that you can stand on your own 2 feet without that person. The next thing that you want to do is to let someone know, someone that you can trust, someone that is not against you, someone that is not for them, someone that maybe doesn't even know them. And the reason that you want to let them know is because you want to have somebody to fall back on, someone that you can communicate to, because there are waves of healing. I've made a video on this before, that healing is a process that comes in waves. If you want, you can check out my video on what to do when you miss your ex, because it's going to happen. There's going to be moments where you feel incredible, and there's going to be moments when you miss that person, and that's just because your brain has developed these bonds, and it's a natural healing process. So it's important that when you're going through this healing process, you understand fully what you're going through, what you're going through. And so for that, I definitely recommend watching my video on what to do when you miss your ex. Now that you've got that, really you're ready to make the decision. If you've built your safety net so that you know that you're safe to leave, you've made your full commitment to leave and not come back, and you have, you know, put yourself in a situation where you're independent and you don't need to be surrounded by that person, you're really ready to leave. And so with that being said, you can make the decision to leave. And now let's talk about the things about what to do after you've left. And I recognize that this is going to be messy for someone that has, you know, that is married and has children involved. And there have been multiple of you that have commented in the video, on these videos in the comment sections down below, that you're just now finding out after years of marriage that that you've been married to a covert narcissist this whole time, and it's really affected you. So it's not going to always be easy to cut off these situations, but you're an intelligent, strong person, and you're going to be able to figure out every solution for your situation. So now that you've left, what you want to do is to find a community of people that are going through the same thing that you are. And I found that for me, this was seriously like a huge help in this whole process, because when you're dating a covert narcissist, it really feels like it's unique to you. And it almost, for me in my situation, I almost felt like I was crazy. I was like, nobody is even going to be able to understand this. Like, how could I connect with a person that treated me the way that they did? And you know, so it makes you feel like you're alone in a sense. But once I realized that there was a whole community of people that have been in a similar situation to mine, I realized that it really wasn't on my own, and that multiple people have gone through this, and that they've gone out on top, just like I am, and just like you're going to. And so for that, I also recommend a book called Psychopath Free. I'll leave for that in the description. I'll leave a link for that in the description down below. And one of the awesome things about that book is that it talks about this community that they've built about people who have been in a relationship with, you know, psychopaths and social disorders and whatnot, and how it can, and how they've built this little community that everybody is a part of, and everybody helps each other out. So next, what you want to do, and this is an ideal situation, you want to have no contact with your partner. If you are capable of having a mature conversation with this partner, which is most likely not the case, you can get some closure, but probably, you know, it's going to be safe to have the no contact rule. The purpose of the no contact rule is to eliminate any possible manipulation tactics that could be sent against you, because you must remember the 3 stages of dating a narcissist are the love bombing stage, the devaluation stage, and the discard stage. There are going to be many situations where after you've left, they may try to love bomb you to try to get you back, or they may try to devalue you to make you feel guilt and shame about leaving them and try to affect your image. And that's only going to affect your psychology, because if they can get inside of your skin and get you to do what they want you to do, then they win. So the no contact rule essentially just puts this barrier between you and them so that you can no longer be manipulated. Now let's move on to the next thing, which is do things that you love and really work on changing your life. And the most So you want to start filling up your time with different things that you care about, the different things that you love doing, and different things that make you happy. But what I would say is the most important part of this whole thing is to really just find stuff that brings the life inside of you again. So I talked about in one of my other videos how there's certain things that you can do in life that take away energy from you, and there's certain things that you do in life that bring energy into your life. You want to focus on the things that bring energy into your life, because the things that bring energy into your life are going to make you feel a lot happier and know that you're getting your full dose of positive chemicals rushing through your brain and your body during the times that would normally be spent missing this person or dealing with the healing wounds that have come from being in the relationship that you've been in. So next, what I want you to focus on is continue to grow and expand yourself. Learn more about narcissism, learn more about how people have dealt with it, and learn more about how they overcame their weaknesses and came out better on top, and how they use these experiences for good, and how you can do the same. Along with this, I want to throw in something really important. If you've been a victim of gaslighting in this relationship, where you've been taught to not trust yourself and not trust your own reality, but trust the other person instead, this is a really important stage to build your trust within yourself again. What you want to do is you want to get in touch with yourself, you want to get in touch with your heart, and you want to learn to trust yourself over anybody else. That is what is going to help you stick with your decision long term. Probably, I would say more than anything, because when you trust yourself and you make it a habit to trust yourself and do what you believe is true in your heart, then you're going to be much happier and much better off long term. Next is to not do this back and forth thing where maybe you keep going back and forth with them and communicating back and forth and continuing to put yourself in a spot where you are allowing them to have a grasp in your life, because you never know when they might try to manipulate you again, and they can be so devious and cunning in the ways that they do it, you might not even be able to notice at first what is going on. So it's really important for you to not go back and forth, and this is directly linked to the initial step that you took in stage 1, which is before you left, to be firm in your decision to get out, because that way you won't be in the situation of going back and forth. Going back and forth is only going to put you in a spot where you're not fully committed to which life path you want to take. And if you're not fully committed to which life path you're going to take, you are not going to give yourself the highest chance of happiness and success. I talked about this in one of my videos on how you do one thing is how you do everything. You must fully commit to whatever path that you are going to follow. The next thing that you want to do, and I would say this is the final thing that you want to do, is that you really just want to focus on getting in touch with your happiness again. And as you are away from this relationship, it's really taken a toll on you. It's affected you in ways that you can probably dig deep into your mind and think about and notice how it's affected you and changed you as a person. And what you need to do is dig deep down into yourself and connect with yourself again. And really, I would say being in this relationship is kind of like your caterpillar. And you were in your cocoon and you went through some rough experiences, but this whole time there was something inside of you that has been waiting to be let out. And it's been growing, it's been changing, and regardless of what seems like all these negative things that have happened to you, there's something really good that is happening to you, because you are growing and you are changing as a person. So I want you to take those incredible things that have affected you and become the beautiful butterfly and let it out and be the truly awesome person that you are on the inside. So that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Click the link in the description down below to check out the book that I mentioned, and also get a free wristband that I made for you guys. I'm shipping them out to you guys for free. Just help me out with shipping, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Hit subscribe.